We're dinking around with Eddie and Webby. Dinking around with Eddie and Webby tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We are back with an all-new episode. I am Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, not Webby. And let's touch the tips like we always do. There we go. This
Glad
is
to
Dinking
see
Around.
You. Great to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you too, man. So Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby. With Eddie and Webby. How many in a row is this with both of us, Webby? I can't believe it.
Yeah, I lost track, but that's a great thing. It's never the same when we're not together for this. So great to see you in person again.
That's right. We have an amazing guest tonight that I'm super excited about. But as you all know, Webby and I like to wet our palates a little bit before we bring our guest on, and I'm a little bit thirsty. Are you thirsty, Webby?
I am very thirsty. I'm so thirsty. In fact, I already poured my beer into this nice Eddie and Webby pint glass here.
Oh, yeah? I like that. Those are nice.
And I'll be drinking this right here, which is from our friends at New Belgium Brewing. It is the Old Faithful Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA.
That's a good one. One of my faves. And look, Webby, I have the Eddie Webby beer glass as well. And inside of that, I have
nice.
High Five India Pale Ale from my good friends over at Fort Myers Brewing Company in Fort Myers, Florida. The can normally doesn't look like this, but because of the green screen, it's looking like this. But let me tell you, it's all green, and this beer is all delicious. Cheers, my friend.
Nice. Cheers. High five.
High Five. That's right. Love me some High Five.
Yeah, there's a very tasty one. I absolutely love it.
That's right. And big thanks to New Belgium for their sponsorship in Pickleball. And I love that you guys are involved in it. And pretty much anywhere I go nowadays, we have access to good beer, which makes me very happy. So thank you, New Belgium, for your continued support of Pickleball.
Yes. And tonight's going to be a very fun episode because we actually have a very fun guest.
We do, huh?
Shall we bring him on now, you think? Is that a good thing to do?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and introduce the guest? If I didn't make that obvious enough, please introduce the guest.
Today's guest started a pickleball-related YouTube channel earlier this year, and it's already one of our absolute favorites for informative and hilarious recaps of pro pickleball events. Please welcome to the show, Chris Cali of Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball. How's it going, man?
What's up, guys? How we doing? I'm so pumped about this.
Nice, doing great. This is going to be a super fun night. I'm a huge fan of your content. It's like you have a newer channel, but I already feel like it's must-see TV or must-see internet, whatever you want to call it, in the world of pickleball. It's great stuff.
Oh, appreciate that, man. Yeah, I just started it this year, and I don't know, just kind of doing it for fun. And I don't know, I think a lot of people have let me know like how much they depend on it to like watch half of these tournaments. So now I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta help these people out a little bit. So happy to do it though, because it's a ton of fun.
I love it. Sometimes
Nice.
I'll be
so
watching,
for anybody tuning in that isn't familiar with it, like, sorry, Eddie, for talking over you. I hate when that happens.
It's all
but
good.
for anybody tuning in who isn't familiar with Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball, how would you describe it to people?
Basically, just try to recap the tournaments in a way that, well, I try to show my favorite parts. And my favorite parts are, sure, some highlights, but mostly like what is the cringy stuff that you see. There's a lot of cringy stuff that happens in these tournaments. And so I just want to make sure everybody could see it. So anything that I think was like really funny, I'm like, I got to tell people about this. Because I would go to pickleball, like in real life, and I would try to talk to people about this, and they had no idea what was going on. They didn't even know pro pickleball existed. So I'm like, okay, I got to come up with a way where I could like kind of show the highlights, but like my favorite highlights, which are usually like the post-game interviews that are really awkward, or some of these people handing out trophies. Like this last week, we had the mayor of San Clemente rocking a sports coat and thong toed flip flops. Yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like ridiculous. So I just want to like have a way to just show people what they're missing out on, because it's a ton of fun to watch.
It's so good. Yeah, that was classic. The mayor of San Clemente coming out in that. I mean, you nailed it. It was almost like a mullet, like from the top up. It was all business, and then the waist down. It's like the dude was about to go to the beach, man. And then maybe that's his style. I like it.
He's trying to show off what San Clemente is all about. Yeah, like the mayor of like what's that place in Idaho that everybody hates playing at? The mayor of that town is not rocking that outfit. He's coming in with like a bundled up jacket, boots. He's like, I literally need this to get around this town because it's freezing and it's snowing out. But here we go. San Clemente guys just trying to show off how awesome his town is, whether he's mayor or not. He could do a terrible mayor job and that town is still awesome. So thanks for rubbing it in our faces, dude.
Nice. I love it. I love it though. So did you have any prior experience making online content at all before you started doing the Sorry Not Sorry pickleball thing?
I mean, yeah, like I've tried out a few different podcasts, which I'm definitely not going to name because it's embarrassing. And oh my God, like had to delete them and scrub them off the internet. But like anything, you get better with experience and practice at it. I've definitely done a lot of like live stuff. I used to do stand-up comedy a lot. I used to do sketch comedy a lot. So I'm just used to like pumping out content, and writing or whatever it is. So yeah, I've just kind of been used to, even when I was like in high school and stuff, me and my friends would make like stupid YouTube videos. And I watch them now and I literally just want to hide up and curl in a ball and just hide from the world because it's terrible and cringy. But that's the type of stuff that makes you go, okay, I need to like figure something out that's like not so cringy. So yeah, hopefully I'm still pretty cringy with the stuff that I do, but a little bit less maybe at this point. So we'll see.
Nice. So you said you did some stand-up comedy and sketch comedy. Have you done anything that we might have seen like on a national scale, or is it mainly more local type stuff that you've done? Or
oh, dude, I'm talking like, yeah. I mean, I've gotten paid like a few times to do stand-up, but it was mostly like open mics, and just like it was like more of like a hobby. I definitely wanted to like do it like for reals. But I mean, like I was just too lazy and inconsistent to ever really like break through to anything special. So definitely nothing national. Oh my God. I'm flattered that you would think that. But no, never even came close to that. So
yeah, I wish you would have said like we could have seen you at the local theater. And where do you live?
I am in Orange County, California. I was living in LA for the last like, what was it? 6-7 years or something like that. So mostly in that scene over there.
All right, well,
you got to call it a scene. That's like the cool way to describe it. It's like it's the scene, the people there. Yeah, so that was in the LA area.
Do you say that you live in the OC, or is that not a cool thing to do when you really live in the OC?
I don't know. I don't really. I used to tell people because I just moved to Orange County like a little while, like about like 3 months ago. And when I first got down here, I would kind of describe it as like SoCal, and then one time I was talking to somebody and I was like, oh, you're from North Cal? And they were like, who says that? Nobody says that unless you're not from here. So now I'm like all embarrassed by it. And I'm just like, Southern California is where I'm from, but I kind of like it because now I feel like I could root for the Hard Eights who just won. They went undefeated in the Challenger League. So I'm just going to like claim that as my team. Like, yeah, SoCal Hard Eights, been rooting for them, represent the local squad, even though they never play like at a local place,
Right.
So
that's great. So you got California shamed when you were
yeah, I did big time. Yeah.
Just a reminder for everybody out there, this is meant to be interactive. If you have any questions for Chris throughout the evening, go ahead and throw them down in the comments below, and we'll definitely get them over to him.
Ooh.
Yeah, and speaking of questions, there's a lot of pickleball podcasts these days. So one thing we really pride ourselves on this show is asking the hard-hitting questions that nobody has ever been asked before. So I've got a good one for you. How long have you been playing pickleball?
Oh, I knew it was coming. I'm like, here's the setup. Okay. Kind of two answers. The first answer I'm very, very proud of is that I played before 2020, before all the lockdowns and stuff. I was playing in 2019,
Nice.
which not everybody does. It's rare these days. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
it was just, we didn't have anything to do, so we started playing. No, I actually did it back when there was stuff to do. Okay. But admittedly, only played like one time. And then in 2021, I started really getting into it and taking it seriously. I used to just play with friends. Like I used to just like, hit up some friends who barely played sports and be like, hey, come play this pickleball game. And actually, that's even how I got into pro pickleball, is because I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to play this game with my friends. And there's all these like complicated rules, like the kitchen and the serve. And I'm like, I don't want to embarrass myself. So I literally went on YouTube one day just to like look up the rules. And then I went into a huge rabbit hole of like coaching videos, pro pickleball videos, like all this stuff. And I was like, whoa, there's like a whole nother world out there. And I have not come out of that rabbit hole since. So that's kind of how it all happened. So I guess my answer is like 3 years now at this point, kind of. Yeah.
All right. And it's funny that you mentioned how you started before COVID, because it got to the point where I started getting bored of asking people how they got into pickleball, because I feel like 90% of people were like, oh yeah, during COVID, during the lockdown, blah, blah, blah. And like, so it's like, that's how a huge majority of the people playing these days, especially if it's a younger person, I feel like they all started during COVID, during the big pickleball boom that happened during the pandemic.
Hey, I'm just glad it happened at all, because now we got a ton of people playing, and with all these people playing, it's opening up more places to play and stuff like that. So, had that not happened and we still got into pickleball, it would be like, we'd be playing in like indoor gyms and stuff. And like, that just sounds terrible, playing on like a wood floor.
Yeah, that's how I started. Pretty much my first almost 2 years was exclusively playing on gym floor. And I didn't know any better, so I thought that was totally fine. And I used to call Eddie a pickleball snob because he was all about only playing outdoors and stuff like that. But then once I started playing outdoors, and then once we got some good indoor facilities that had tennis court surface, I totally understood. I apologized to Eddie for ever calling him a pickleball snob, because I totally get it now, because playing on a gym floor sucks. Like I can still have fun with it, but compared to tennis court surface, it sucks.
I mean, it's like, you guys are beer guys. It's like having like a Coors Light or something. You're like, I mean, it'll do. It's a beer, fine. But like, I want a high five can, like I want some like real stuff here. I want the real deal,
Yeah, definitely. Playing outdoors is the way to go. Although indoors is fine. There's certain facilities like the Orchard at Jigsaw Health. I enjoy playing indoors there.
Oh, dude, that place looks awesome. Yeah.
You got to go, man.
Speaking
you gotta
of
come
which,
to a Tuesday night pickleball broadcast. Yeah, like you got to come and check it out. It's so fun.
It looks awesome. And speaking of which, I saw the security guard, dude. I saw him, where was it? I think it was PPA. Last time they were in San Clemente, he was playing like rec play with people, like in between, like in some downtime in between like events. And he literally plays with his earpiece in. Like the security guard earpiece, he's literally playing pickleball with that thing. I'm like, this dude, is he like really in character all the time, or is that just him? And I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn, this dude is like, he does not stop working. So good for him.
Yeah, he definitely embraces that role. Webby, you got a chance to play with him in Arizona too, didn't you?
Yeah, that was super fun. He's a solid player too.
He better be. He better be.
He's actually been kicked out of some pickleball events for walking around in his security outfit, to be honest, or security, whatever you want to call it, apparel. He's been escorted off the property or asked to leave and change. So he takes it very seriously. Yeah.
Like, sir, people are coming up to you for help and you're not able to provide them with assistance. Right. He's like, I can't kick anybody out, but I can help you work on your dinks, I guess. Keep me up with that.
That's so funny. I love it. Webby, we have any good stuff going on in the chat so far?
Hey Shay's in here.
Yeah,
she's everywhere.
Yeah, I just saw Hey Shay. Hey Shay actually has a comment here, and she says, "Chris, who is your favorite member of DFPU?" And for anybody unaware, what exactly is DFPU?
Oh man, we're getting deep. DFPU is the Dylan Frazier Pickleball Underworld. Hey, she put it out here. It's her fault if we can't. No,
Right,
we
right.
it is a Discord chat that if you are a pickleball fan, you can partake in. There's secret ways to get in. Maybe shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you can go through that step, then maybe you're legit. Maybe we'll let you in there. I'm pretty sure anybody could access it. There's like a link floating around somewhere. I don't think it's that hard to get in. Anyways, who's my favorite person in the DFPU? Oh boy. Well, I don't know if she's been around lately, but Hurricane Tyra Black probably is my favorite person that rolls up in there. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I think she's been anonymous, but she like knows that people know it's her. So that's my like off the record answer. My on the record answer is Hey Shay. She's my favorite person. I would consider her a bestie.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I don't know if she would consider me her bestie, but
Nice. I was gonna say, I feel like Hey Shay was kind of setting you up to where if you didn't say Hey Shay, you were probably gonna get booted from that Discord server. So that was a good comeback there. Way to recover.
that is on the record. Yeah.
Nice. But I just recently got into that Discord server, and I'm telling you what, that's where the hardcore pickleball fans go. That is it's a fun place to be. But you really got to be a hardcore fan to be able to hang with that crew, and they usually make themselves known in the YouTube chats, the Facebook chats. I mean, and I feel like they know they're everywhere. Anywhere pro pickleball is involved, you will find that group commenting, and I love the passion.
I have a quick question here. Since most of our audiences, both Sorry Not Sorries and Any Webbies, are over the age of 60. What's a Discord? What are we talking about here? Discord? I'm not sure.
I'll be honest with you. When I first got on, this was the first time I got on Discord was because of this, and I mean, I felt like I was 60 accessing this thing. I had no idea how to use it. Here, I'll try to describe it like you're 5 or like you're 55, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's like Facebook, but everybody posts a status and you just keep posting your own status and you keep seeing it. It's like a group text. I don't know. That's honestly, it's like a group text message. Do you know what a text message is? Are you aware of those? Yeah, it's like that. It's like a giant text message thread. But the cool part is you can like break it up into different channels or like different group texts. And so you can kind of keep it a little bit more organized. And honestly, I don't know. It's just a blast because everybody's just talking about pickleball in there, and sometimes it devolves into random nonsense. But it's honestly, I used to love going on the live chat on YouTube, like just hopping in there and just talking smack to people. But this has overtaken that as my new favorite thing to do during a match because everybody just goes in there and is just talking live about what's going on. And the cool part is you can kind of go back and go through it too, which is cool. You know, you can kind of see like, oh, what did I miss? And kind of get some cool little updates. You might miss a thing or two. Honestly, there's been a lot of times when I'm recording Sorry Not Sorry where I've like, you know, maybe was working for like an hour or something during a match. And then I'll scroll back through the chat and I'm like, oh, wait, what happened? Hold up. Christian Alshon said something stupid. Oh, shit. Let me go back and look at that. So it comes in handy. It's honestly really great.
Yeah,
sometimes
cool.
It's just Webby talking about White Castle. Yeah. We do that stuff too. You know, it could be anything. It doesn't necessarily need to be pickleball.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's fun.
He loves his White Castle talk. One of my favorite things to do is when we're live for Tuesday Night Pickleball, I like to pull up the TNP at the O server. And did I use that term correctly? Do I feel like I'm a young?
I think so. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think that's it. Right? They're servers. Yeah.
So I'm at the TNP at the O server. And it's cool because I'm on the comm system with everybody on the production crew. And sometimes they've brought up stuff on there where I'm like, oh, this is good stuff for us to be able to tell everybody so we could either double down on it or switch it up or whatever. And the one thing I like about Discord versus YouTube comments is that YouTube comments can get very toxic. It's very easy to be anonymous. You can kind of just,
really can.
Anybody can just jump in and say whatever stuff. Webby and I have had death threats while we're live before from people. We've had people make horribly racist comments that we had to delete. It's been bad. But in Discord, although it can be anonymous, most people know who each other are. And I think that leads to almost like a safe place for everybody to talk, but without that layer of anonymity that can lead to really horrible, toxic crap being spewed out into the ethernets.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit like, because look, I mean, like with anything, like personally, I'm not a person that really is pro censorship per se, but you still want to culminate like a good vibe. Like you still want to like. I might not agree with that, but like if I have people over my house, I'm gonna want to determine who's coming into my house. You know what I'm saying? Like if you give weird vibes, dude, you got to leave the party. So with Discord, it's great because it's like if somebody's just giving weird vibes, like maybe they're not overtly like threatening, maybe they're not overtly saying anything like messed up, but you just are like, dude, what is with this guy? He's just being annoying. Bye bye, kicked. You know. Whereas YouTube chat, it's a little bit more like, well, he didn't technically say anything that crossed the line. We have to let him go. And then it's up to the discretion of like whoever's broadcasting the channel. You know, it's like if Tuesday Night Pickleball wants to kick that person out, or the Dink, you know, whoever's channel it is, they have to kind of make the call, whoever's like a mod on there. But yeah, on Discord, it's just way easier to kind of create like a good little environment with people. So I totally agree. Yeah, like I think Discord is the future of like chatting it up for different things.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I typically, anytime I watch a pickleball live stream for Pro Pickleball, I always have Discord open in addition to YouTube or Facebook, wherever I'm watching it, because that's where I know the good and the fun chats are going to be. And if anything ever big happens in the pickleball world, I immediately open up Discord to see what everybody's saying about it too, just because it's just fun. Like it's a fun time, and it's funny because pickleball caused me to dust off my Discord account because I had a Discord account from probably 5 or 6 years ago. And the reason I created my Discord account was because of Pokemon Go. Did you ever get in on the Pokemon Go craze?
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Yeah. Hey, I partaked, you know, I think maybe for like a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Some people are still doing that.
I was all in. I was all in.
You still play?
Yeah. I don't know. I gave up on it a couple years ago, but yeah, for I would say the first 2 years that the app existed, I was all in. Like anytime I was waiting in line at the store, I'd be swirling the screen to throw the Pokeball to catch those Pokemon. And then
2
the Discord
years
servers
of Pokemon Go. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Nerd.
Oh man, I was
fun.
in. It was fun. It was but it was something I could do. My wife got into it. My daughters got into it. It was like a family activity. And what was cool about it is if you're not familiar with Pokemon Go, like you have to go to physical locations to do the stuff. And what was really cool about it is they had Pokemon raids. So you would go, like you would need to gather with a group of other players that use this app. You would have to be in the same place physically at the same time. And then you could try to attack the boss at these gyms. So like I'm total nerd right now. I'm sure 90% of the audience has no idea what I'm talking about right now. But
no,
it
it
was a
sounds
very
intense.
fun thing. It was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Discord. I
love the stories of people going into like somebody's. Oh, you had Discord for it?
Yeah, that's how we would organize to like meet up with strangers that played. But then like I actually made friends, like local friends in my city because of Pokemon and stuff like that. It was pretty wild. Like it was a fun 2 years of Pokemon Go. Yes, Catherine, really.
Dude, that's sick. Yeah, I love hearing stories about people who are like, yeah, this guy went into somebody's random backyard to get a Pokemon, and then he ended up getting shot and killed.
Yeah,
all because he wanted that Pokemon. Yeah, well, that's nice that you would be willing to sacrifice for your family's Pokemon Go accounts. Stay back, kids. One looks dangerous.
Yeah,
yeah, that's wild.
It's the priorities in life that matter. It's a real thing. But yeah.
I do gotta say real quick. I see in the chat. Oh, my bad. Real quick. Hey Shay, I don't know how I missed this. Shout out to Odoth for creating that Discord. Odoth is like the king of trolls and commenting on Pickleball. So yeah, he's been the man with that. He's created an awesome community for there. So we got to give Odoth a little shout out. Yeah, he's my second favorite member of the Discord community. So behind Hey Shay. Sorry, nice. Odoth. But that's pretty good. Silver's not bad, right?
That's not bad at all. I just recently got a silver medal in a skinny singles tournament that I am very, very proud of. Some people consider like anything less than gold a failure, but not me. If I get silver or bronze, I'll be very happy to accept.
Here you go. So you hear that, Odoth? You're the Webby of skinny singles. There you go. That's a big honor.
That's right. That's right.
We have a quick comment I want to bring up here, and this is from Kyle Salinko saying, "That's how I met up with my furries convention," which obviously is a topic
Discord.
that I would love to be able to bring up here. So who wants to set the stage for the whole furries convention thing? Webby, Chris, who knows most about it? Chris? All right, Chris, here you go. Let's do it.
Okay, I mean, the story is, well, we found out that the APP was playing in Chicago at a convention center indoors, and essentially right next door, not even right next door, like literally in the same room, but like the other half of the room, they had a furry convention. So if you don't know what furries are, it's exactly what it sounds like, but even more messed up. It is literally people that dress up as different animals. It's almost like they're mascots, like dogs, cats, lions, tigers, whatever it is. They dress up as that and they interact with each other. And rumor has it, they get intimate with these different costumes. I would imagine there's certain areas that have zippers. I'll just leave it at that. So these people, they all coordinate through Discord. There you go. There's a picture of it. Yeah. All those people have a secret Discord. I don't know how we get in, but we got to find out how we get into the highest levels of the furry Discord. I'm sure there's a really fun server that they all live chat on. Do you think that they're all talking like, dude, what was up with that pickleball tournament at our convention center? Have you guys heard about this pickleball thing? And they got to like describe pickleball on like their furry podcasts. They're like making fun of all pickleball players. They're like, these weirdos. They play with this like little pickleball.
Right.
It's crazy.
Like, these guys are freaks,
Oh, for
man.
sure.
What's this
For sure.
about?
Yeah, what weirdos. Yeah. But yeah, so they're all people dressed like that. Thousands. Apparently, it's the biggest one. There was 17,000 of those things roaming around. Is there even 17,000 like dogs around in like an area like that? I mean, it blows my mind that there was that many people there. It was so funny to see the videos come out too. Like players would be posting videos of them just like eating lunch at the like cafeteria, and like next to them is literally like a blue-haired dog, like just chilling, eating with his mask on, by the way, too. I don't know how that works. If they just put food through the mouthpiece or whatnot. It'd be a little weird if you had to like take the mask off and like, you know, eat your lunch, eat your tacos, and then put it back on. Snap out of character real quick. Yeah. So, anyways,
I feel
absolutely
like that goes
hilarious
their,
that they had that happen.
Yeah, I feel like that goes against the furry code. If you ever take the mask off, I mean,
Like the Mandalorian?
kind of a disgrace. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, I just imagine there's probably a furry forum on Pickleball, and somebody probably posted, you know what the funniest thing about the Midwest Fur Fest was? There was pickleball going on at the exact same time.
Do you think there's a gym class of furries who somebody's just posting like all these like random opinions? Well, personally, I think that the blue fur is a bit overrated. And everyone's like, dude, shut up. You are ridiculous, man.
Right.
Giving these long paragraphs about, oh, what? You think that the nails on the feet should be clipped a little bit shorter or something like that? Like, dude, you're ridiculous with these opinions. There has to be at least one. I don't know.
Or like the former leader
yeah.
of the furry convention is now the villain, right? And does the villain have to wear a different furry costume when they become the villain? Like, there's so many questions here. I really wish, though, that one of those guys would have made their way, or girls, made their way onto the pickleball court in full costume to play pickleball. That, even just to dink around, I think that would have been a blast.
That would have been great. Yeah, just warm up with us, you know, just come out, just try it a little bit. Yeah, I've seen a video of this one dude who like was a streaker at like some small tournament or something. Oh, we even had the streaker at the PPA tournament. Like, I think it was a few months ago, some dude in like underwear and a mask. we need a furry to do that. Now that would be great. It was a little weird with some random kind of chubby dude, just running around in his underwear. It's like, all right, dude, get off. That was weird. Clearly you were paid by the PPA. But if a furry came on, that would be awesome. I'd be like, get back out here. That was so cool. Yeah, we need more of that.
I would totally do mixed doubles with a furry or men's doubles. Like, I don't like how do they have genders? This is where it gets confusing, and I would play doubles with.
Well, it's just one human player and one furry player.
Right.
Is that how you differentiate? Is it human and furry, or is it furry and non-furry? Are we just non-furries? Is that how they would describe us?
I have so many questions. Yeah, is there any pickleball players that are furries out there? We need you to jump on the pod with us real quick, answer a buttload of questions, because this rabbit hole, we could go straight down it, and I want to.
There's 17,000 of them.
There's got to be
one of them plays pickleball.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to.
Can you imagine there was one pro player who was like, "How perfect! We have the tournament and the furry convention. I get to go to both. Thank God!" I was so worried I wouldn't be able to make one.
All right. If we had to pick one player, who do you think? Let's start with you, Webby. Who, if there's one pro player, who do you think would be the most likely to be a furry?
Oh man, man, that's a tough one. I'm just gonna say Rob Cassidy. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna say Rob Cassidy.
All right. Well.
Oh, wow. That's actually probably very accurate. I could totally see that.
I could see Rob rocking a furry suit. I think he would look good in that. He's very animated. I could see this. Rob, if you're a secret furry, please let us know. I definitely have somebody that I think, but Chris, who would you pick to be most likely to be a furry?
I think probably it's got to be Zane. I think I've actually heard a little rumor that he's got a safe. Yeah,
that's a good one.
A furry, yeah. I actually made a post on my Instagram. I was like, if you had to guess, who would you think is literally the same question, which pro player do you think is a furry? And an overwhelming amount of people said Zane. And I think that we're on to him. I think there's just something. He seems like he's a little bit, what's your secret, dude? And I think this is it, Just my guess, though.
I could see that. And I'm assuming you're referring to Zane Navratil as who you would think so. My pick is actually another Zane who hasn't been in the scene for a little while, and that's Zane Affleck. I don't know if you guys have ever had the pleasure of interacting with him, but he's probably one of the most athletic people that ever played the sport of pickleball. But he's interesting. He's a character, and I could see him fitting right into that. I don't know, Webby, what do you think about him?
Yeah, I could see that. I almost forgot about him. Isn't Zane Affleck the person that Nasty Nelson, Tim Nielsen? Or Tim Nelson?
wait, let me see here. So you were talking about the Nasty Nelson made by a guy with the last name Nelson, and then you call him Tim Nielsen?
The Nasty Nielsen.
He got Nasty Nielsen. Yes.
This Juicy Haze IPA is really good tonight.
There you go. Isn't he the guy that slept in his car at tournaments? Am I remembering that right? Is he that guy?
Yeah, there's a lot of stories about him. There's a story about him stealing somebody's, I think a McLaren one time at a host. There's lots of stories out there. I don't want to get into it here because personally, I think one of the risks of having a podcast where you do a lot of speculation is you can go down rabbit holes and you can create rumors that aren't true, and you could really destroy people's lives and career. So I don't want to go down that path. But there are other podcasts out there. I think it was on. Well, no. So actually, I do want to talk about that with you in a minute here. But I think it was. Oh my God, was it Rob Nunnery and Adam Stone talked about the story? I think it might have been on their podcast. Go check it out. It's really funny.
Yeah. Let them tell the rumors. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll tell you the rumor. I don't want it to come from us. But anyway, kind of down that path here, Chris. So there's two things here. I think that there are certain personality types in this world that can make fun of you, and they do it in a way to where it's non-threatening and it's funny. I think you have that. I think Zane Navratil has that. I think Tropical has that. I think Maurice the Grease has that. There's a certain way about it that, like, Chris, you could tell me right now that, like, you're the biggest loser I've ever met, and I think it would be hilarious. But then there's other people that can't do it. And when they tell you that you're the biggest loser, it doesn't come across that way. So 2 questions for you. Question 1 is, what is it about that personality type that can do that and it's okay? And the second question is, even though you have that personality type, have you received any hate from anybody in the pickleball world because of some of the things that you've posted or said about them?
Okay. First question, what personality? You know, well, it's funny because you named a few people there. One of them was Zane Navratil. And dude, that's so accurate. And I'll tell you, so I was at PPA this last weekend and Zane roasted me so hard. And I just couldn't help but laugh. So I was with Jimmy Miller, and all of a sudden Zane walks over and is like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And we started talking because he was wearing an Orlando Squeeze shirt. And I think we said something like, "Oh, dude, I'm trying to get one of those shirts. That looks awesome." And he looks at Jimmy and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm sure we got a triple XL." And then he looks at me and he's like, "And for you, we got a youth medium." And I was like, "Oh, my God, dude. Damn. Got me good." Like, oh, but it was just so funny. Like, like you said, it was like non-threatening, you know? It wasn't filled with hate. It was like, oh, he's just found an opportunity to make a joke. And part of it too is I think Zane is self-deprecating enough, and I think that's the key. So to answer your question, I think like you got to be able to make fun of yourself. Like I'll be the first to make fun of myself. You know what I mean? And like I could take a joke about me. So I think everybody else that you kind of named there, like I think that it's kind of in a similar vein where it's like, yeah, those are all people who, you know, don't take themselves that seriously. So then the second question of have I ever gotten hate from anybody? From pro players, not so much. I don't think there's really been anybody that said anything. There was one time where back when it was like all the paddles being delaminated, I actually had Leia Jansen like send me a message on IG, like kind of calling me out. And I was just like, what? How dare she? But then like after that, like, I don't know, she just started like being nicer and friendlier to me. And so then we get along and it's like, whatever, it's fine. And I didn't really take it personal or anything like that. That was like the closest though. She didn't even say anything bad about me. She was just like trying to like correct what I was saying more so. I will say that if I did upset any players, it would be somebody probably like Christian Alshon, and he's never said anything to me directly, but the last MLP Super Final, they like let people sit up at the front row. So I was like sitting right up at the front row, kind of where players were sitting. And all of a sudden, Christian Alshon just walks over, looks at me and goes, "What's up?" and sits right next to me. And I was just thinking the whole time, I'm like, oh God, like, does he know what I've said about him? Like, oh dear Lord. Like, I'm like, do I say so? I was literally like typing in Discord. I'm like, do I say something to him? You guys are never going to believe who's here. And I completely just acted like a B word and said nothing. I was just like, he probably doesn't know who I am. I don't know. So who knows? I mean, like he might not watch my stuff or anything like that. But yeah. So anyways, my point being, nobody's ever really said anything negative or been like, hey, I don't like what you said. There have been random like fans, like just pickleball fans, like people commenting and saying stuff. Back when I did the, what was it? Jack Sock, when he played in the PPA, that episode that I did, oh my God, I got so much hate on that episode. Like you guys probably know, like when you put up a YouTube video, they give you like the comments on like the YouTube Studio app. So basically, for those that don't know, if you have a YouTube channel, like you get an app and they basically just shows you like the comments from your videos. There's a little flip of a switch that you could do, and you could switch to comments that are held for review, which basically is YouTube looking at comments and being like, oh wow, that's probably offensive, but this one's really mean. And so I flipped that switch. And it was like, brrr, like a ton of comments of just like, oh God, like just the meanest stuff ever. Like, you're an idiot. You're a moron. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up, dude. pickleball sucks. Tennis is where it's at. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like I thought I was done for. And that was the last time I ever really got a ton of hate on a video. Every now and then it happens. But yeah, that one in particular was like, people just really like, we're not feeling me. And fair enough. I mean, I am an idiot. I am a moron. So they were right. Did they need to say it? I mean, I don't know. They're just trying to hold me accountable. So thank you for that. But yeah, so that's probably as bad as it got.
Now, one thing that Eddie and I both really appreciate is we said this to Maurice the Grease when he was on the podcast, but like the fact that you put yourself out there, the fact that like you're not hiding behind an anonymous screen name like a lot of people do. Like you just say what you want to say, you put it out there, and I respect that type of attitude, because like some people I feel like hide behind like the keyboard warriors of the world. They just kind of hide behind the anonymity of it all, and I really appreciate how you just put yourself out there, and the stuff you do is hilarious. Like it's great, and I said this recently in the Discord server, but you and memes of pickleball I think are the best things to happen to pro pickleball, and I'm not kidding. I really do, because like to me, you guys provide the most value as far as like entertainment, just like huge entertainment value. I can always count on the memes of pickleball app and then your podcast to just show what's up in the pro pickleball world.
Well, memes of pickleball is a whole nother tier above anything I'm ever doing. That is like my favorite thing ever to see. So I'm honored that you would say that. And let me also just say that, like, yeah, I'm not anonymous, but like my last name is not Cali. It's just like a nickname I've had growing up my whole life.
What?
So I use that. And I'll be honest, I use that not because I'm scared of people knowing my last name because of the content I put out. I'm scared of people seeing my duper score. I do not want anybody seeing my duper score. My duper score is embarrassingly low for how well I play, and I don't want to get all defensive, like be like, I swear I'm better than that score shows. But like, yeah, it's pretty weak. It's not a good look. So yeah, I just don't want people.
I
seeing
bet my
that and being
duper's
like,
lower than
this
yours.
freaking guy. Yeah.
Oh, but you're getting Webby fired up. Webby's going to go off on a rant about how his duper is unfairly low and how points should be taken into consideration. And I'm going to have to say, just learn how to frickin' win in a tournament or in match play, and you're not going to have to worry about it. And he's going to come back and say, well, I only lost 11-7. I shouldn't get dinged that much for it. And I'm going to say, so thank you, Chris, for bringing that up now. Now we got to hear it from Webby. Let's hear it.
My bad.
Let's hear it. Come on.
No, but I think I think a huge majority of pickleball players agree with my stance on how duper is better when there's more focus on point differential and not win-loss. I do agree that wins should matter. I don't think anybody should ever go down in rating if they win a match. That I agree with. However, I feel like more like they should the point differential should be more of a focus than the win-loss record.
They went back to that,
and
right?
I think a huge majority of pickleball players would agree. They're supposed to in early 2024. Duper just did a recent announcement saying that they listened to all the feedback and they're going to be making an update. And we broke that story earlier this year that they were going to go back to the point differential. We had Scott from Duper. He was the data scientist, and he told us it was actually really interesting. He told us why they went away from that and focused on the win-loss record for now, but that they are going to be bringing back more of a focus on the point differential. But the current iteration of Duper, I am not a big fan of.
Same, dude. And yeah, so I guess I'm waiting until 2024 to start playing Duper games.
What is your Duper, Chris? Let's hear it.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
Okay. I think I just looked it up yesterday. It was a few days ago. It's like a 3-3-4. It's pretty bad. You can make fun of it.
That's actually exactly what mine was 2 weeks ago. I had decent results in a tournament that I did, and now I'm a 3.43.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Not bad. Do they have a skinny singles category? They need to make that. They got singles, doubles, but not skinny singles.
Not that I know of. But
I bet you're like a 5-0 skinny singles.
It's a different game, man. It's I agree with you. I think it'd be great to have a skinny singles rating, and I honestly think that, and this came from Steve Peranto, that your skinny singles rating should be your the same as your doubles rating, right? Webby, was that? I don't remember exactly how he said it, but I think it was that they should use skinny singles
so what
to
he
determine
said
your
is,
rating.
Yeah, that's so at the club that he plays at in Oregon, or Oregon, I should say. They
Oregon.
make you do skinny singles, and they determine your rating based on how you do in skinny singles, and that's how your doubles rating is. It's not that doesn't mean what you are in singles, because regular singles is way different than skinny singles. Skinny singles is more close to doubles play. So whatever your skinny singles rating is, that's where they put you in their doubles programs. And that makes sense to me. And the main reason for that is you don't have a partner to rely on, because like Steve said, if I play with Ben Johns, Ben is going to cover that court and we're probably going to win a lot of games. And that doesn't make me a 5.0 player or a 6.0 player, just because Ben dominated and I never touched the ball. And the same thing goes where if I play with a brand new player, or like if I were to play with a brand new player, the brand new player is going to get targeted and we might lose more because I'm not a good poacher. So it might make my rating look like a 2.5 when I should be more of a 3.5 or something like that. So to me, it makes sense. What do you guys think? I'm
so screwed. Marisa Grace is in the chat and he knows my duper score now. I'm going to get so roasted. How dare you guys put me on the spot?
It's what we like
said
to
that at
do.
the beginning. Any topics you don't want to go over, or like stay away from duper. It's my fault.
So, Webby, did you just
pickle?
I was just about to ask a different question and you took over the social media comments.
Well, I think Kyle Salenko trumped you here. He said, who would win in a podcast pickle-off, you or Chris from Pickleball Studio? Now, do you think he's talking about like skill-wise on the court, or which podcast is better?
He would win both. His podcast is better. It looks so good. They have like the best production quality ever. I'm just like jealous of them sometimes. And they do great paddle reviews. Like they could actually like talk about, I just like make fun of people and like go look at that. He's like, hey, I've like thought really long and hard about this and like made a determination, and I do testing and scientific data, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, that takes effort. And then when it comes to actual pickleball, yeah, he's probably way better than me. I think I saw that he was at San Clemente this weekend. I think he's playing 4-0 at this point. Like Chris would crush me in pickleball. Wait, let's just be real here, So yeah.
So if you were going to go enter a tournament right now, Chris, which level would you enter at?
I'd probably do 4-0.
Cool. Makes sense. 3-3-4.
I should have said 5-0.
4-0, whatever. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
I get it,
Yeah, I'd probably do 4-0. If they let me. If they go, hey, we looked at your duper and sorry. No bueno.
Well, what's your UTPR then? If your duper's that, what's your UTPR?
Oh, I don't. What is that? Is
that's what USA Pickleball uses? Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done that in like over a year. It's honestly probably like a 3-0, like when I was doing 3-0 tournaments, or maybe 3-5. I don't know. Maybe it's 3-5. It's one of those. Definitely not 4-0. So, yeah. But isn't that just you put it like yourself?
You can, but then obviously any tournaments that are USA Pickleball sanctioned will affect
they
the
alter
UTPR
it
rating.
based off the results.
But I think my mixed doubles is like a 3-2, and my men's doubles is like maybe a 3-6. So it's definitely not accurate. I mean, I would feel horrible if I showed up at a 3.0 mixed doubles tournament. Like that would be, I would just like, if I won, I would feel like crap. And if I lost, I'd feel like crap. So it's like, why in the world would I ever want to register for a tournament that my UTPR says that I'm eligible for? It's weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Unless there's a big pay cut at the end. Let's go. $800 payout to win a 3-0 tournament. I'll stand back all day.
Well, I think more people are.
However,
like you
if you sign up for that and then win it, USA Pickleball might demand that you give the money back if it's determined you're actually better than that. Remember what happened to Sydney Steinecker?
That happened?
Mm-hmm.
What? Really? I didn't know that. That's hilarious. They're like, whoa, wait a minute. We took a look at the tape. Your dinks are way too good. You hit it.
Guess
You
what the
hit
name
a
of the
way too
person?
many drop shots.
Guess what the name of the person at USA Pickleball was that took it away from her?
Don Pabin? I don't know.
No. Well, okay. So we have met this woman and she's really nice, but her name was Karen. And I'm like, of course it's going to be a Karen.
Oh,
Takes your medal
Yeah,
away
yeah.
from you. But we like Karen. Karen's cool. I just think it's funny that her name happens to be
Yeah.
Karen.
She was being a bit of a Karen.
A little bit of
Yeah.
a Karen with that one. Yeah, for sure.
That is pretty funny.
Nice.
I did want to bring
So,
up that
back
Maurice de
to,
Grease is actually. Webby, we keep talking over each other, man. Jeez, oh, Pete, guys, tune out. This is
You
getting
go.
bad.
You go,
All
my
right.
friend.
I just want to bring up. Remember earlier I brought up there's that personality type where people can say stuff about you and it's okay and it's interpreted right. Well, I brought up Maurice de Grease and he decided to throw a little shade our way in the comments saying your podcast is garbage. And I know this because I never miss an episode. So thank you, Maurice. I guess I don't know. I'm not really sure how to respond to that. What do you think?
I mean, the fact that he's still watching, though, it means that it's like, it can't be that bad,
Right.
you know? Like, no comment is worse than a comment,
Yeah.
you know? Like, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So if he was just like, I can take it or leave it, then it's like, ouch. But he's saying your podcast is garbage. It's like, stirring up emotion, you know? That's pretty good.
That might have been the deepest comment we've ever.
Oh,
had
he
a
said
guest
mine was.
say.
He said that was for Chris. He said my podcast is garbage. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so that's why he doesn't watch. Okay, this all makes more sense. It is garbage though, so he's right. He's just letting the people know. So, like, you could get away with making fun of people as long as it's truthful and informative to everybody else. So now they're like, oh, okay, it is garbage. I don't need to take a look at it. Maybe people are into garbage. I don't know. You know, I'm sure there's some furries out here who are raccoons. Raccoons love garbage. So, you know, maybe people are into that. I don't know.
Are we just going to skip over the point that you made probably one of the most like deepest intellectual comments that any guest has ever made in our podcast saying the opposite of love is indifference? I think you need to unravel that one a little bit. Well, I'm going to come off the screen and let you just roll with this one, man.
The opposite of love. I mean, right? It's like if somebody is saying that they hate you, that's not the opposite of love. Like love is like filled with emotion, and not having that emotion, like being at a zero, well, that's the opposite. But that's just like I don't care enough to say anything. Hate is kind of on its own little scale, you know? So it's nothing to feel bad about if somebody hates you, you know, because they still might love you, you know. I mean, how many times have you been like, you know, like you have like a best friend or a brother, you know, like a brother, like, gosh, like I've said, I hate you to my brother so much, but I love him. You know, what would be worse? Me saying I hate my brother, or me just going, who's that guy? Oh yeah. That's right. He's my brother. I forgot about that. Oh yeah. Well, whatever. That would be hurtful. That would be like, ouch. You know, that is like, there's no love there. But if you really love somebody, like I love my brother, sometimes I hate him, you know? So anyways, the great Taylor Swift once said, it isn't love. It isn't hate. It's just indifference. Hey, Shay called me out that I stole that quote from Taylor Swift. Whoops.
We got a Swiftie on the pod.
Now we are getting... We got Swifties, we got furries. This episode's got a little something for everybody. But no, that was great stuff. That was good, deep information. Eddie, I feel like we're becoming the Oprah of the pickleball podcast world because we got some deep thoughts here out of Chris. When Tropical was on, we got really philosophical with him. I mean, man, we are really bringing out some good stuff.
The Oprah of pickleball. Everybody look under your seats right now. You all won. I mean, imagine I gave the finger. I don't think I could do that on the show, but that's what I wanted to do.
And you get a championship belt. And you get a championship belt.
Yeah, there you go.
You got to earn this, though.
Well, speaking
you
of
get
middle
a White
fingers,
Castle burger. You get a slider. You get a slider.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But you mentioned middle fingers. Speaking of middle fingers, like I feel like, would you say 2023 was the year of the middle finger in pro pickleball?
Oh, and how great was it? We got 3 amazing middle fingers. And I feel so good. Like, sorry to brag right now, but I saw that final third middle finger and nobody else saw it. And like, that's a shame. I feel terrible that you guys weren't able to witness that. But oh my goodness, it was incredible. So for those that don't know, I'm sure everybody saw, all the drama that happened with Colin Johns and Julian Arnold, and the story became, oh, Colin Johns didn't paddle tap, and then he called Julian Arnold the clown. But if you were there, the story was, holy crap, Julian Arnold didn't get paddle tapped and flipped him the bird, like just on center court. And it was just like, oh no, like, whoa. And man, when I found out that wasn't captured on camera, I was like, how could you miss like this historic moment? Really dropped the ball. That cameraman does such good work when they want to catch Christian Alshon crying. But the minute it comes to capturing a middle finger that we all want to see, he's just like, nope, let me look the other way. Whoop, I don't know what's going on. So disappointing. But it happened. It was real and it was great. So entertaining.
Well, for anybody who hasn't seen the most recent Sorry Not Sorry podcast, our friend Chris here, he did a brilliant rendering of what he witnessed in person to show the Julian Arnold middle finger. So you got to tune into that, especially on YouTube. Make sure you check it out on YouTube so you can see the rendering because it's amazing.
I had to do something. I had to let the people see it visually. I'm not even joking. Like, that was actually the seat I was in. I was like on the stands behind it. That was my view of it. Like, and it was Colin and Ben walking off. Like that was exactly what it looked like. So it's like as accurate as possible. So maybe the faces that Julian Arnold were a little bit different, but for the most part, accurate.
So I do think that Julian can get mouthy on the court. That's his style, right? And I like it. I think it's hilarious. I like that he yells down Diamo. I'm totally cool with it. I like that he walks around the venue like dude. Like it's funny. It's his personality.
Does he make that sound effect?
Dude. Right? It really is funny. Do you think there's any way that the PPA put Colin up to that? Because I remember when Tyson flipped the bird to Tyler Loong. This would have been back in September, I think, in Cincinnati, because Tyler and Jimmy were saying some stuff about him and his wife on the podcast or whatnot, and Tyson flipped him the bird. And then the Dink was doing their podcast about it, and during that, I don't remember if it was during it or right before, but Tyson had sent a message to Thomas with a Dink saying, oh, Connor Pardo paid me to do it. And I don't know if he was joking or not, but do you think it's possible that the PPA is staging some of these events that are causing us to have conversations like this?
No, not this one. I'm not putting it past them to do that. So it is possible. Totally open-minded to that idea. But I will say this. Colin Johns was he was frustrated all day. And you'll see in the episode I just put out, he had the match that was I think directly before that one. He was getting so pissed at Deckelbar and Tyson McGuffin for their serve. And you'll literally see Colin John serving it from up here because he was just like, who's going to freaking call this? I was there at that match and he was just heated and pissed off. So I wasn't surprised to see him come into the next one and be like, and now I got to deal with this, So I don't know if PPA was the one that said something to him to do that. Again, wouldn't put it past them. And if we found out that was true, I'd be like, yeah, that totally makes sense. But I don't know in this case if that's the deal because he was just cranky all day. I don't know. Maybe they didn't give him his 3 gallons of milk that he drinks a week. Did you guys know that about Colin Johns? He drinks 3 gallons of milk a week, of whole milk a week. Gallons, 3 of them. Think about that. That is so much milk. That is a lot of milk. I like milk, but not 3 gallons a week. That's expensive too. You just got a 40% pay cut. Is he going to have to cut his milk intake by 40%?
They live in Texas. I'm assuming milk is significantly cheaper than it is in California.
Fair. A lot more cows down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they probably just drink it right from the udder.
Will you demonstrate what that looks like, please, for us, everybody? Please.
No,
Here,
I will not.
Okay. Can you
because
please
I know the internet will take advantage of that, and I'm not gonna give the internet the chance to do that.
Please throw a green screen behind you too. Please do it. No. Okay.
Colin milking cows. Your best impression. There it is.
Oh, God, this podcast is derailed. I'm gonna. Yeah. Go ahead, Webby. Have fun.
Oh man, it's already been an hour, so I want to bring up a couple more topics before we part ways. But I feel like this might be the pro wrestling era of pro pickleball. And I'm wondering what both of you think about that. Like, do you think it's a good thing for pro pickleball for there to be so much what I think is kind of predetermined drama? Maybe it's not predetermined, but I feel like it's encouraged drama, I should say. Do you think it's a good thing to get more eyeballs on the sport and have it be less boring? Or is it kind of taken away from the integrity of the sport? I'm just curious both what Chris, what you and Eddie think about that.
1,000% good for the sport. This weekend, I brought my like non-pickleball fan friends. I was like, hey, come check out a tournament. They know I talk about it all the time. So they were like, all right, we'll come see what it is. And when I brought them down, they literally caught the match of like Colin Johns freaking out about the serve and stuff like that. And it got my friend excited that they were like chirping back and forth. He's like, oh, dude, this is what I was hoping for. I was hoping there'd be like some weird little pickle drama going on. He's like, this is like kind of cool. So they were not expecting it, and it got them into it. And then when we saw the Julian Arnold match against Ben and Colin, they were so into that too. They're like, oh, let's go. Like this guy's like getting the crowd hype and like pissing some people off. And then all of a sudden he's flipping him the bird at the end of the match. Like it was just mind blowing to them. They were like, whoa, this is what happens here. You know, now like imagine just like a regular old boring traditional men's doubles dinking back and forth. And then, oh, excellent game, sir. Best of luck to you. That would be so boring. Like they'd be like, all right, that was cool. Pickleball. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I'm probably not going to come back. Like now they will. Now that they're like, oh, damn, like stuff goes down, you know, like there's drama in the middle of a match, you know, people getting angry. So I think it's so good for the sport. I think we need it at this point. Like you need storylines, you need drama, you need to be able to watch and just go, I have no idea what's going to happen next. And that's part of it. Even the little things, like I loved in MLP this weekend when Jeannie, how do you say her last name? Kina? Oh God, I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, She's on the shock, and she after her match, she looks at the bench to the owners of BLQK, or not the owners, but they were, well, one is an owner, Richie, and the president, Jimmy Miller, and she was like like doing like a teardrop thing, and was like, yeah, like suck it, like cry about it, we just won. And I'm like, yes, like we need more of that, you know, like. And those are the videos that get passed around on social media. Like that's how people even know about this stuff. So yeah, I think I'm all for it. And what integrity is there to hold? Like nobody like holds pickleball to this like high regard, you know, of like, oh, we need to like keep our, like people bash pickleball all the time. Like fine, that part's not going to change. Like people are always going to think it's some like sport for 65-year-olds and, you know, just like, oh, it's not even a sport, it's a game. Fine, you could think it's a game for 65-year-olds, but there's also like crazy heated moments and screaming and passion and fights and fingers and furries, all that. Like the more the better to me, you know what I mean? So I'm all for it.
Nice. Well, what do you think about it, Eddie?
I have a different opinion, and it's kind of funny you say this because I actually just this week decided to start a solo audio-only podcast talking about some of these topics that are coming up in pickleball that I think should be discussed. And I have a little bit different of a take on it. Oh, by the way, that podcast is called Grassroots Pickleball. I'll be doing more of like a launch with it. But anyway, keep an eye out for that. Sick. But I have a little bit different of a take on it, and I think it's that. If it's artificial and it's staged, then it's pro wrestling. And pro wrestling is great, but pro wrestling is for characters. These are real people with real consequences to their actions. And I think it's gone a little bit too far, especially if it's actually being encouraged and or potentially staged by people that are trying to get more views and visibility to their content. I think that we're losing a little bit of what pickleball is all about. It is a wholesome sport. It was developed, you know, by these senators and their kids to have a fun game. It's a backyard barbecue game. The pros have shown us what it can be. But I think that if we move too far away from that, we're going to take away from the sport. Just like if the PPA is really, staging some of this stuff and encouraging Kyle to flip off Tyler, or, in this case, you're saying that you don't think that Colin was told by the PPA to do this. You're probably right. But the fact that we're even asking the question, is this possible, shows me that we're moving a little bit too far away from where I think we should be. I remember 3-4 years ago, prior to the PPA, prior to the APP, there was chirping going on in the court, and it was funny. When Jeff Warnick was out there, it was hilarious because I mean, you guys know when Jeff Warnick's on the court, it's going to be fun. He's going to chirp. It's going to be great. But 90% of the time when Jeff Warnick is chirping, what are the people on the other side of the court doing? They're laughing. They know what's happening, right? They might be rolling their eyes like, oh, here's Warnick, but they know that it's being done in a very playful kind of way. It now is moving to the point of where people are getting in fights. It's becoming toxic. It's becoming a little bit of too far for me, and I think it's done in the spirit of getting views and visibility. Look, there's 1,000 ways that we can get more viewership around pickleball. Just a couple examples. People can play naked. You know how many more views we're going to get on these live streams? It's not going to be 6,000. It's going to be 600,000, right? We could have them to where when you get hit with the ball, it freaking explodes and it makes an explosion, right? There's so many things that we could change about the sport to make it to where it's more.
Like, I got a whole list. Wants to know. Grassroots.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like, anyway, I don't want to go off on too far of a tangent. I think I've already said enough. I think it's gone a little bit too far. I love the fact that there's drama, but I think the drama should come from human interest stories. I think it should come from people battling their way to the top. I think it should come from playful banter between friends. I think when it becomes to the point where you're shaking off someone's paddle because they're pissing you off and you're calling them the biggest clown in pickleball during an interview on a professional broadcast, that's too far.
Yeah. I'm with you on if they're manufacturing it, I'm a no-go for that. It's got to be genuine. Like, it really has to be genuine. I guess where we disagree is I think it is genuine. Yeah. But I'm definitely not for like fake BS that's just brought up and that's not real. Like, for example, like seeing Matt and Riley this weekend in the semifinal match going at each other, dude, that was awesome.
Yes.
Like, you didn't hear a lot of the stuff that Riley is chirping at Matt. You don't pick it up on the cameras, but being there, you hear all the curse words that Riley is saying, all the nasty things, and how he's like looking at the crowd like, keep laughing, everybody. Like, dude, like, that's like real emotion. And that's stemming from drama that is related to pickleball too. It's like, hey, we were like, had a good run, then we broke up. I kind of abandoned you essentially and told you to kick the dirt, and now I'm trying to win one over you to make it to the top. And it's like, dude, like, that's the awesome storylines that you want to see. And like, that's the type of chirping you want to see. And 100%. That's genuine. And then at the end of the match, they like shake hands or like, dude, like you're still like a good friend. You know what I mean? Like, it's all love. But like, when we're in the heat of the battle, I'm going to go hard against you, but I don't like actually hate you as a person.
And that's where I think you nailed it. At the end, they shook hands. You can tell there was this like, this is our thing. It's cool. We're all good. I respect you. I don't want to play with you, but I respect you. And that was fun. And I love that. That's cool. I think Riley takes it a little bit too far. And like, I would never want to be his partner. But at the same time, I definitely think that that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's a genuine storyline that came just from the nature of the sport. It wasn't artificial. It wasn't manufactured. It wasn't promoted. It wasn't encouraged. It just happened. And that's where I want it to go. Webby, I know you've been sitting patiently here, so what's your take on all this?
Yeah, well, as people that tune into the show frequently know, I am a huge pro wrestling fan, so I actually do like the drama. I'm a fan of it. I think pro pickleball needs it to be more appealing. But I also 100% agree that it should not be manufactured. And I'm on the fence about the Colin Johns thing. I think it might have been 100% legit, but it just seemed so out of character to me for him to do something like that. I mean, maybe it's just been building up and brewing inside of him to where he just had no choice but to express himself in that way at this most recent tournament. But I don't know, man. It seemed a little little too much for me. But I mean, if it's legit, which it very well might be, legit, then I'm totally fine with it. But if it was manufactured, I do have a problem with that. So hopefully we can find a good balance of where it seems legit and is not manufactured, because I do like the drama. I do like the intensity of stuff like that, because it does give us something to care about when it comes to pro pickleball, because we've talked about it numerous times. PPA became very boring because it was the same exact people playing against the same exact people, and the same people winning the tournaments and stuff like that. So it was getting boring. So part of me thinks, like, could PPA be giving people a nudge to be a little more charismatic on the mic and stuff like that? I don't know, but I do like it. I enjoyed it. And even the Colin Johns thing, I got to admit, I did find very entertaining. So I'm kind of like on the fence here. I'm dancing that line, but I do like the drama.
You're right, though. It did kind of come out of nowhere, and it's kind of funny to think like, oh, he's like, you know what? It's the last tournament of the season. I'm going to say something to him if he says something to us. Like, I'm going to tell him. And then Ben's like, dude, don't say anything. He's like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say something. And then he finally did. Yeah. That was intense.
No matter what, it was entertaining, because it got everybody talking. It definitely made the news, but yeah, I still I'm not 100% sold that it was genuine, but it might have been. It's just my opinion.
That's completely reasonable.
And,
we'll never know. That's the thing,
yeah.
is that we will never know whether or not that was legit or not.
Unless we get somebody to rat them out. We get a get somebody to be like our inside scoop. Someone just sends you like an anonymous letter.
How about this?
It was fake. Meet me behind the parking lot. Right. I'll explain everything.
Yeah.
Or we get Colin to be on the podcast soon, hook him up to a lie detector test, and have him tell us if it was genuine or not, and then we'll have a professional lie detector test reader there with us. We'll, like I said earlier, we were like the Oprah. Maybe we could become more like the Jerry Springer of the pickleball world, or the Maury Povich.
So instead of saying you are the father, it's going to be like, you are full of crap.
You are the fake one.
Something like
that. This exchange.
Yeah, that's right.
You are the clown. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I do think it was unfair to call
man.
Julian Arnold the biggest clown in pickleball. Like, there's plenty of other much more clowny type of people in the sport.
Come on, now or never.
Oh, you have that? Oh my! I was trying to explain to my friends about how he literally has like a button that you could push, and they were just like, "Wait, what? Like it comes with the paddle?"
Yeah,
dude, that's awesome. I'm so jealous.
Big fan of Hilaire. Great company. Good paddles.
They need to make a Colin Johns.
Not sponsored either.
Like, you're a clown.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, every pro needs a button with their own catchphrases.
Where's the
Give me that cow udder.
How did you find out about Colin John's milk consumption, and why is that, like, how did that even come up?
He said it in an interview.
Really?
He just said it like it was no big deal, and it was like the most boring interview, and you just heard that one part and you're like, wait a minute, what? Rewind that. Did he just say 3 gallons? I must have misheard him. He must have said 3 glasses a week, right? He must have meant glasses. No, he said gallons. Like, I cannot imagine that.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Huh.
It's a lot of grocery shopping. His milk expires. You got to go like every week. It's a lot.
Yeah. Maybe I got to drink more milk. I don't know. Does almond milk count?
Yeah, maybe that's the secret, right?
Yeah.
You want to be the best right side player in the game? Drink 3 gallons a week.
I love it.
He drinks 1 gallon for every point of my duper score. Drinks 3.34 a week.
Nice. I love it. Well, Chris, this has been awesome. This has been a super fun night. The time just flew by. We're already over an hour. I can't believe it. I feel like we need to have you back on sometime next year, and we'll get I feel like towards the end of the year, we should have you come back on, and we'll discuss like the craziest moments of the year, and that would be a lot of fun, I think.
Dude, always down. Absolutely. Anytime. This is a blast. You guys are so much fun. Yeah, definitely down to do it anytime. So thank you for having me on. That was a good time.
Oh, no problem. The pleasure is definitely all ours. But before we part ways, we do always like to give our guest a chance to say whatever is on their mind. If you want to promote anything you're doing or just get anything off your chest, whatever you want to do, the microphone is yours, my friend.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, go ahead, check out Sorry Not Sorry if you haven't seen it yet. Like we were saying earlier, I just recap the tournaments every week and try to just point out the funniest or cringiest things that I see, most importantly. And it's just a good way, like you were saying, where it's like, hey, dude, I don't have time to watch these tournaments. Like, I need just something quick that could like keep me up to date on this. So that's what I try to do for everybody because, go have fun, go live your life, go be with your family, go spend time playing pickleball. I'll sit at home and watch pickleball and have no life. It's fine. Like I'll do that for you. Like, so I got you back. So yeah, go check that out. Sorry Not Sorry. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, obviously YouTube. Check it all out. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, man.
Oh,
This
and
was
come find
super
the
cool.
Discord. We're gonna make
yeah.
a special furry server for all the furries that join.
Yes.
See, Selinko,
Yes.
now you have a place where you can get pickleball and furries all in one, just for you.
Awesome. Well, Chris, have a great night. This has been super fun, and happy pickling.
Take care, everybody.
I don't
Thanks
know
for
why I
watching.
said that. I've never said that. Never
Yeah.
said that. Never said that in my
Happy
life.
pickling.
Happy pickling. Oh man.
What do we do from here, Webby? I'm so confused as to what we do.
I don't know. I just derailed our podcast with just I don't know what's going on right now.
All right, thanks, Chris.
It was a nice comment. Happy pickling. Bye.
All right, we'll see you later, man. Yeah.
Oh man. That was fun.
What a
I don't know what's
fun
wrong with
time,
me
man.
tonight, but that was fun.
So, can we just recap? You said happy pickling to sign off, and he told the whole story about playing Pokemon Go. It was a pretty good night for Webby, huh?
Yeah, very interesting night. Thank you, New Belgium, for the beer.
You know what's funny is I really have not been drinking a ton lately, and I know this upcoming Sunday we're gonna do our year-end podcast, and typically you and I drink like each big bomber of high alcohol beer. Dude, that's gonna be insane. So if you want to see us getting real toasty, tune in this upcoming Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Right, Webby? Is that when we're going live? I don't even know.
Yes, that is fact. That is true. I do plan on drinking a bomber, but it's going to be something different. It's something I have never drank during the show before. In fact, I bet it's something that a huge majority of people watching and tuning into this podcast have never drank before. So tune in to find out what it is.
That's right. You know what, Webby? Outside of beer, do you know what else I like to drink? Take a wild guess.
I do know that you like to stay hydrated. So if I'm going to think of a drink that gets people hydrated, just off the top of my head, I'm going to say something Jigsaw Health related.
That's right, folks. I'm a big fan of Jigsaw Health's pickleball cocktail. The blue raspberry flavor is my favorite, but I take more products than that. My daily regimen consists of their cod liver oil. It consists of their Mag SRT, and it consists of their adrenal cocktail. They have a lot of products out there to keep you hydrated, and their slogan is, it's fun to feel good. And let me tell you something, when I take their products, I definitely feel good. Now, full disclosure, I am employed by Jigsaw Health, but I've been taking their products long before I've been employed there. Webby, I know you have as well. What's your favorite product by them?
My current favorite is the Electrolyte Supreme. It used to be the Berrylicious, but the Fruit Punch has taken over the top spot.
That's right. Fruit Punch is another good one as well. Guys, if you're in the pickleball world, you need to stay hydrated. You need to feel good. Jigsaw Health, it's fun to feel good. You can use coupon code PB for Life10 to get $10 off your order. And I'm telling you guys, you will not be disappointed. Again, jigsawhealth.com. Use coupon code PB for Life10. You're going to love it. You're going to love how you look while drinking it. I guarantee it. Can I say that, or is that not proper? I probably can't say that, but you're going to feel good.
Probably can't say that.
Yeah. All right. Scratch that. You're going to feel good.
Oh,
It's fun to
man.
feel good. Yep. What a fun night, huh?
Very fun. I just had more weird things that I wanted to say, but I cut myself off. I'm not going to say them.
No,
Tune in Sunday if you want to hear me say it.
No, keep going. What else weird did you want to say tonight? Please, something.
No, I was going to quote another commercial and slogan that I probably shouldn't do either. So that's why I cut myself off. So it was for the betterment of the podcast and our viewers and listening audience.
This has been fun, man. I always enjoy it. I like when you take the lead on podcasts, so I can just jump in and derail, and then then take a step back and watch you try and to scurry through. That's always something I take a lot of pleasure in. So thank you for entertaining us with that tonight.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. But yeah, this was a super fun night. I love it. I love dinking around with Eddie and Webby, especially when it is Eddie and Webby together. It's awesome. I love it.
So much fun. Guys, we have a lot of great stuff going on as well. I don't know if you noticed or not, but we just started back up the Eddie and Webby podcast, but it's not what you think. We started a new series called Just the Pickle, where we give you just the pickleball content from previous podcast episodes. We just released an interview with Ben Johns from 2018. In fact, almost 5 years ago to the day. Ben Johns was still in college. He was 19 years old. He was in his dorm room or apartment. This was before he took off to become the #1 player in the world. It's a great interview with him where you get really deep into the mind of Ben Johns. I encourage you to go check it out. There's a couple great ones that are going to be coming up in the near future. I'm hoping to get it out every 1 to 2 weeks. Seriously, go check it out. A lot of people are new to pickleball that haven't had a chance to see some of the great interviews we've had in the past with some of the top pros that are still in the sport today. And that's why we're bringing you Just the Pickle. And I'm super excited about it. As we mentioned, Sunday, we're going to be going live with our year-end podcast, where we're going to be going over the top 10 moments of 2023, both in pickleball and in our own worlds when it comes to pickleball. Did I say that right, Webby?
Yeah, you said that perfectly. And honestly, anything that happened in our lives probably are the biggest thing in all pickleballers' lives. Don't you think?
I would definitely agree with that. Yes, we are pickleball. That should be a slogan. I'm going to get it tattooed on my chest. We are pickleball.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
I like
Anything
that.
else you want to talk about? I mean, Webby, you just had a skinny singles tournament video that was posted that people are raving about right now. Anything else coming up for you?
Yeah, actually I ended 2023 with a bang. I was off to a rough start. My daughter and I, we won a gold medal together and then had a little bit of a decline after that, but I ended 23 strong. My friend Wendy and I, we got bronze in a very tough 4-0 plus mixed doubles division. The tournament after that was a skinny singles tournament that I got silver in. It was a good, tough, large group of people that were in it. And then soon I will be posting my full court singles video from that same tournament. And then after that, there is the Bounce Detroit Invitational Tournament that me and my friend Jacob competed in. We did very well together too, but you're going to have to wait and find out how well we did.
That's right. Plenty of great stuff coming up for you guys. We're going to be wrapping up 2023 in the next week, maybe take a little bit of a break, coming to 2024 strong. We hope that you guys can stick around with us for the journey. We really appreciate all of you guys tuning in and supporting us. And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
See ya.